Good afternoon, everybody. On behalf of Federation of Family Physicians of India, I welcome you all on this third and the last webinar of the series on the current pandemic that is going on. So I hope you all have enjoyed this series and we are getting good feedbacks. We are lucky to have our President, Dr. Bajpai Saab, and our Secretary, Dr. Janak Shah, with us today. I will request Dr. Janak Shah to welcome all of you. Dr. Janak Bhai, please.
Good afternoon, friends. On behalf of Federation of Family Practitioner Association of India, I would like to welcome all our colleagues for the webinar. This is the last webinar of the third series of it. I'd like to invite, also welcome Dr. Vihang Vaya and Dr. Varun Patel, who will be the speaker of today's last webinar. Now, we should also welcome Dr. Pragnesh for whatever he has done to prepare the webinar and work hard to get the things online and on time. We are starting always. Pragnesh bhai. Hello.
Thank you, Janak bhai. So we'll move on with the topic. We have got with us two distinguished speakers today. First one is Dr. Vihang Vaya, is a very well-known figure in psychiatry for all of us. Sir is International Distinguished Fellow of American Psychiatric Association, Professor Emeritus of Psychiatry, Dr. R.N. Cooper General Hospital, Mumbai, who is also the founder and head of the Department of Psychiatric Medicine at Dr. R.N. Cooper Hospital, Mumbai, former Professor of Psychiatry at Cooper Hospital, and consultant psychiatry at Bridge Kennedy Hospital and Leelavati Hospital in Mumbai. Sir has got various academic posts in his long tenure, and he was also the member of he is the member of the Positive Psychiatry section of World Psychiatry Association, and also the past secretary of Indian Psychiatric Society. And he has got several publications done by him. So we are very lucky to have with us a learned stalwart in the field of psychiatry with us, Dr. Vihang Vaya, today. So I will welcome Dr. Vaya sir and request Dr. Vaya sir to start with this session. Vaya sir.
Thank you, Pragnesh bhai. All of us, all over the world, are uniformly experiencing rather tense, unpredictable, insecure, and uncertain phase of life, like none of us have ever experienced before. The First World War was fought with arrows and spears. The Second World War was with bombs and guns. And now we are in almost what we can describe as the Third World War, where humans all over the world are fighting against only one superpower, the virus. So, the society today is divided into two groups. The first group are the super busy doctors like Varun bhai. And the entire strata of frontline health workers, like the police and the security, sanitary staff, bank staff, section of the government employees, and the huge chain of supplies, which includes the planners and the executives and the transporters, the railway staff, and the rest of it. But the second group, which is the most or the majority of us, are guys whose lifestyle is completely destroyed. None of us like this pandemic, but we have to accept it. Our lifestyle is disturbed. Our habitual pattern of entertaining ourselves is gone. We cannot socialize like before, and we have a monotony of life where one day is like any other day. So in this situation, all of us feel anxious, feel tensed up, feel worried, feel helpless. We have more questions than answers. And this would generate a sense of anger and frustration. All these emotions are completely normal and we have to accept that. These are not signs of any weakness. But the point is that when we get into this series of unwanted thoughts, we generate a kind of frustration and what is generally called sochon ki aur vicharon ki garmi. So the first state is to keep ourselves cool and calm. To do that, there are various traditional behaviors, but the simplest is to take a hand towel or a napkin, dip it in ice water, Put it on your face or the body and repeat it a couple of times till you really start feeling cool and calm. When you're distressed, you cannot think clearly. When you calm, you can start thinking clearly. And this is the time when you must have soft physical exercises like jumping on the spot, skipping the rope, walking up and down the stairs of the building, or get involved with domestic chores. Those of us who have an ergometric cycle at home can use that. Having done this, we need to focus on our breathing. So meditation, yoga, pranayama will help. If we don't have any of these at our disposal, then try and fall back on the religious hymns, stotra, whatever the religion. All religions have prayers which are set to a particular tune. So sing it along, or at least loudly, if you can't loud, at least sing those verbs and shlokas. Don't just kind of narrate them in your mind. If that doesn't work out, fall back on soft music. Sing if you can, but at least fall back on soft music. Having done that, we now want to generate positive thoughts. So how do we do that? There is no standard off-the-shelf advice. But realize that all our life, we have had thoughts and ambitions and desires and things that we wanted to do, but we could not do. This is the time to do it. There are so many skills we wanted to develop, we could not. This is the time to do it. We wanted to spend time with our children and grandchildren for people of my age. We didn't have time. Now is the time to do it. When we look at Darwin's theory of survival of the fittest, the word fittest does not mean physical fitness. Even dinosaurs died. The word fitness means ability to adapt. So we have to adapt to this situation of monotony of life, restricted mobility, physical distancing. But what is often missed out is enhanced social interaction. So we have physical distancing and enhanced virtual socializing. So when you do enhanced virtual socializing, WhatsApp and SMS and internet and all that is fine. But we need to have human context, virtual human context. So don't just send WhatsApp. Phone people, phone your friends, phone your relatives, phone even strangers or casual acquaintances to find out how they are doing. Share your thoughts. Negative thoughts, you must share it out and ventilate your feelings rather than keep them suppressed inside. Having done this, the other physical activity we can do is help. Help others. There's great pleasure in helping others. It doesn't have to be monetary or physical. Even talking to people and sharing your thoughts with their thoughts, listening to people, we are doctors. Just hear them out. Don't even advise. When a person calls you up, doesn't want to be advised, just wants someone to listen, to do that. For the doctors, internet medical advices are now commonly sought out. People want to know how to sleep well and how to kind of, keep those thoughts away. Avoid using medicines for sleep. Try and get physical exhaustion through physical activity and sleep. If you do give prescriptions, avoid giving benzodiazepine as far as possible. Antihistaminics will help. Small dose of amitriptyline will help. Small dose of a drug like quetiapine will help, subject to the patient's own health system. I can go on and on and on, but I would rather answer questions. Thank you very much for asking me to be here. There are plenty of questions. There are lots of things to talk. I've got about 6 pages full of things that I can talk. I'm not going to do that. I would rather answer questions. Thank you very much. Pragnesh bhai, over to you.
Sir, we'll prefer at least you can highlight, sir, the commonest thing what we family physicians fear is that whenever we go to clinic, we might bring infection home. Though we try to have all these anti-infective precautions in the clinic. So how do we tackle with such anxiety of not hurting our near and dear ones at home?
Varun bhai is into this more actively than I am. I'm now 70. So my hospital, Breach Candy and Lilavati, they were very nice to me and said, Dr. Vaya, thank you very much for wanting to help, but stay home. So I'm not really going to the hospital as often as I would like to. But the standard advice is that when you are in, suspect everyone. the closest of your relatives or your friend or your own spouse could be a carrier. So maintain physical distancing. Everybody knows that this virus goes through what is known as aerosol effect. So when a person speaks, talks, coughs, sneezes or spits, the virus go direct. They don't have a trajectory, they go direct. So maintain distance. Initially we said 3 feet, then we said 6 feet, now we say if possible 12 feet. That's one. 2, wear a mask all the time when you are out of the house. When you are sitting in your clinic, please wear a cap and wear spectacles. If you have spectacles which are large ones to protect your eyes, that's best. But otherwise, at least wear spectacles so that the aerosol doesn't get into your eyes. Separate sets of clothes for your home and for your house. And remember, when you walk on the street outside your house, the soles of your feet can be carrying the virus. So have 2 separate sets of clothes and footwear for home and for outside. And when you step into the house, have a corner where you put your shoes, have a box where you put all the contents of your purse, including the keys, etc., and then sanitize them. Simplest sanitizing. Don't have to use alcohol and soap water. Is get this liquid bleach. 1 portion of liquid bleach, 5%, in 4 portions of water. That's 1 liter of water with 250 cc of liquid bleach, which is easily available, and spray it. Don't jet it. Just spray it on these objects. Let it not fall on your clothes or wooden furniture where it would otherwise discolor it. But on the floor, on your shoes and the soles of your shoes is okay. Spraying liquid bleach on a body or the clothes is not recommended. Some people did it, some governments did it, but now the ICMR said there is no real reason to spray liquid bleach on the face of the person. Just washing. Though nobody describes it, I prefer washing my face also thoroughly for the 20 seconds when I come back from outside. Don't keep the tap on, otherwise we'll have problem with water. So scrub yourself with the taps off, switch on the tap and wash your hands. That's probably the best thing that I can think of. But probably Dr. Patel will have more to tell us. Thank you.
Sir, the question is about the emotional battle that family physicians fought. A lot of, there are very few young family physicians who are in practice. Most of them are above 60 plus. And there is an emotional battle between, there is an emotional thing between a moral responsibility that as a doctor, the family physician wants to work. And the logic says, no, daya thawani jarur nathi. Be careful.
So I read this somewhere. I mean, this virus is an egoist. It will not enter your body unless you invite it. So don't invite the virus into you. How do we do that? There's also this question of virus load. So 1.3 billion plus number of people in India. So it's 1.3 billion, 99 million, and several other thousands, lakhs and thousands, of which about 15,000 are at this point in time infected. Let's see, there are 4 numbers more that are not infected. So if there are 60,000 people in India who are infected, we are still 1.3 billion who are not infected. So this is not a virus which is going to wipe humanity off the face of the earth. We need to maintain the physical distancing and hand washing and wearing all these clothes and not mixing up our home clothes which are outside clothes. That's of course medical sense, common medical sense. But remember, when you are anxious, you can't think clearly. When you are angry, you can't think clearly. So feeling anxious and angry are bound to happen. We are bound to have patients who keep asking questions again and again and again. I get patients phoning me at 1 o'clock in the morning, "Sab neend nahi aata, main kya karu?" I feel like, reflex, I'm an old NCC guy. My reflex would be to curse the patient. I have learned not to do that. So we keep giving ourselves the suggestion, the positivity to tell us that, look, things aren't the way people would want it to be. Nobody is happy with the virus at this point in time. Even President of China is not happy with it. So we are all unhappy. Within this, we the doctors are blessed with an ability to control our anger and to be of help to others. Majority of the patients, when they ask you a question, even at primary care level, are with relation to क्या होगा, कैसे होगा, कब होगा. Nobody knows. किसी को नहीं मालूम. एक ही काम कर सकते हो, अपना हौसला बनाए रखो. When you start getting anxious, depressed, worried, angry, frustrated, or get into this fault finding, iska dosh, uska dosh. In India, we have so many, we have 1.3 million opinions also. All of us have an opinion. Point is, it's not going to change. How we think or how we think others must behave is not going to change. We can only think of how we should behave. When we get anxious, depressed, frustrated, hostile, we waste our energy and achieve nothing. So tell yourself what you can't change, you might as well not bother. What can you change? You can change yourself. So keep your cool. Pranayam helps, meditation helps, positive thinking helps, and learn to laugh at every situation. How do we learn to laugh? Everything that we have in life can be looked upon as glass half full or glass half empty.
Right.
If we look upon life as glass half full, we will be secure and say, Ajit atu hai. When we look upon our life as glass half empty, we are insecure ki aadha gaya, baki kab kya malum. Learn to laugh at every situation. I give this common example of Mr. John, who was always very happy. Nobody, no matter who told him what, Mr. John would say, yeah, is that so? It could have been much worse. So friends didn't like Mr. John, who was always very happy and never getting tensed up. They cooked up a story. They said, John, you know what happened to Anthony? Which Anthony? He says, your friend, the traveling salesman Anthony. He says, yeah, of course I know Anthony very well. He said, well, he was out on a tour yesterday. He went home a day earlier than expected. And as he was about to ring the bell, he heard his wife talking to a man. So Mr. Anthony got upset. He took out his keys, flashed the door open, and there he found his wife, Anthony, making passionate love to Edward. So Anthony took out his gun, he killed his wife, he killed Edward, and he killed himself. So Mr. John said, yeah, that's sad, but it could have been much worse. He says, what do you mean much worse? He says, had he come home a day sooner, I would be dead by now. So the whole point is, you can always laugh at everything. When a patient comes to you angry and upset, and give him 2 minutes, not even 2 minutes, 50 seconds, not even 50 seconds, 30 seconds. And the patient will say, Saab, aapne meri baat to sun li na. Then you say, main sunni to li, magar aage kya? Itna gussa karne se, itna बेचैन होने से आगे क्या? फर्क तो नहीं पड़ेगा, ना आपको फर्क पड़ेगा, ना हमको फर्क पड़ेगा. अपने हमको ठंडा रखो. कैसे? तो I told you this soap water, ice water exercise works very well. Have a drink, not alcohol as far as possible. Have a cold drink. Cool yourself and set an example for the others to cool themselves. But in your primary care clinics, please maintain physical distancing. So instead of the habit of dawakhana khul gaya to patient aa gaya, aise nahi. They can only come by appointment. And keep at least 20 minutes between two appointments. So even though you finish a patient in 10 or 15 minutes, you still have 5 minutes for yourself. You need to talk to yourself. And you need to tell yourself that I'm glad I did it well. Take pride in the quality of work instead of the quantity of work. And the patients would then bless you for it. I hope I have answered your question.
Yes. And the second most important part is anxiety of family. Whenever, then there is a doctor in the family who goes out, he sees the patient of fever who might or may not have COVID, and the family is very anxious that you are going out, take care of yourself. And there are a lot of anxiety or anxious movement among them also. How to tackle this thing?
Absolutely. And the family is 100% justified in expressing their caution. We read about how the doctors have also fallen prey.
Yes.
But when we look at the overall proportion of how many doctors get exposed to COVID patients unknowingly. Knowingly is a different story. Dr. Patel is a different story. It's a different ballgame. But look at the policemen, look at the bank officers, look at the security guys, look at this supply chain, not just the planners and the executives, people with their feet on the street. The proportion isn't as high. It is the fear which is high. So when the family tells you, please be cautious, please take care of yourself, you say, of course I will. Don't start fighting with them. Don't say, ek baat kya karte ho? Don't respond to their anxiety with your anger. Respond to their anxiety with a smile, saying, of course, I'm a medical professional. I'm a responsible medical professional and I love you. And I'm going to do everything. Just because I love you does not mean that I'm going to ignore my word. So I love you and I'm kind of committed to giving help to patients that need. Try and restrict your work only to emergency patients. Check before they step into your clinic whether there's a history of cough, fever, or sneezing. Let them not spit. Keep 8 feet away. And even when the patients come to you, keep them as far as possible. It's not possible to have a separate set of stethoscope for everyone. But then you can sanitize your stethoscope not with alcohol, but with this 1% sodium hyponitrite. That's bleach in water, and just spray it on your equipment, instruments. And I suppose that's the best that we can do. We can only be comfortable doing as best as we can within the current situation and the current state of advisories that come from the government and the health ministry. And the health ministry for sanitization says 1% sodium hypochlorite. So 5% of sodium hypochlorite, 250 cc's in 1 liter of water, sprayed, not with a jet, with spray on even your car handles, on the keys that you use, in your seat, particularly the table on which the patients might talk, because those droplets get out of the patient's mouth and fall on your table. And when you are examining the patient, don't let the patient talk. If the patient wants to say something, you shut up. When I'm this close to you, you aren't going to talk. Keep your mouth shut and make sure that the mask is on. How do you know the mask is good? There are homemade masks. So when a person wears a mask, ask the person to blow. If the candle is blown, hold a candle in front of your mouth. Tell the patient to hold that candle in front of the mask and फूंक मारो. और फूंक मारने के बाद में, if the candle extinguishes, that mask is not good. So then have masks and charge the patient for it. You don't have to be sensible, but have masks where the candle will not blow when you blow through the mask. That's the way. So that all your patients wear those masks. If you are able to acquire the surgical masks which are in short supply, any patient who wants to see you has to wear a surgical mask, which you know cannot blow the candle out. I suppose, and of course, use of gloves.
Fine. One more thing, sir. We are all, including the society, we are dealing with infodemic from morning to evening in various WhatsApp group that normally doctors follow. Forget the general media. Doctors may not be much relying upon the news and everything. But all the WhatsApp group all the time talks about corona all the time. And that creates a lot of anxiety and the weird reaction among the doctors' colleagues at what is being seen around.
You're so happy to restrict your corona time. The amount of time that you spend on the TV or the WhatsApp or the media to learn about corona should be restricted. None of the TV channels have anything nice to say about anything in this world, which can't be happening. There are good things happening, but people are ignoring it. We all remember the negative things. So restrict your corona time. Don't have to be aware of how many new cases detected and how many patients died every minute. Restrict your corona time, maybe 10 minutes in the morning or 10 minutes in the evening. Including me, a lot of my friends and me, we have stopped watching the TV news because those debates that come up are debates where people are trying to settle their personal scores or political battles through the TV channels. Stop watching the TV where people are arguing. There are too many arguments going on within our own mind We don't need external stimuli to increase our own conflict in the mind. So be aware of the general knowledge, but Corona time should be restricted to maybe 15 minutes once or at the most twice a day, and set up a system of things to do for others. Whenever I've gone to the hospital, on those few occasions when I've got called to the hospital, I have a sticker on my car, so the police no policeman stops me. I yet carry bottles of sanitizers and water bottles, and I give it to the cops on my way whenever they are stopped. And you should see the smile on their face. It's such a reward. The first 2 weeks I used to carry masks. Now everybody has a mask. I don't carry masks. I carry those small sanitizer bottles and a bottle of water, plain drinking water bottle. Once I carried a few buttermilk Tetra Packs, but they are not enough, and you don't know how many cops you'll meet on the way. But a bottle of cold water works. So try and do something. Express your goodwill. Generate happiness in your own mind, in other people's mind. And don't encourage their negativity by saying, yeah, people are dying. Who knows who will die, but you better take this. So people are dying, but 1.3 million are not dying. Think of that. Number of people dying are in less than 4 figures. Number of people are infected are maybe 15,000, can go up to 60,000, who knows. But most people who even test positive are symptom-free or mild. Only 20% seem to, Varun Bhai will have better figures, but I think 20% of the infected people require to be hospitalized. 5% out of that need to be in intensive care, and some 3% of that require respiratory care. And a lot of people have come out of that. Varun Bhai will have the figure at the tip of his tongue. I don't. But think positive, feel positive, generate happiness, laugh and smile, and make as many people smile as possible. If somebody said, वो तो मर गया, तो अच्छा हुआ ना, वो मर गया, आपने तो नहीं मरे. भगवान सबका भला करे, शुरुआत मेरे से करे. Think positive and convey positivity. भगवान सबका भला करे और शुरुआत मेरे से करे. That is the prayer.
Sir, there are two basically paradox in this thing. Well, not exactly paradox, but there is a set of young family physicians like me who thinks they would got a long career ahead, and such kind of pandemic, they derail the normal economic growth and the practice growth that is going on. So that causes anxiety and concern. When we discuss among our groups, that people have started frightening to do solo practice, that let's do something together, let's do something this and that. And then there is another group who are senior citizens who think that बहुत हो गया, अब ज्यादा प्रैक्टिस करने की जरूरत नहीं है. Why to take risk? इतने सारे रिस्क लेने के बाद प्रैक्टिस करने की क्या जरूरत है? The family tells the same. So बहुत काफी lot of this the ghamasan goes in the brain. How do you doctor should be handling this?
There are more questions than answers. There is no one line answer to this question. Do what makes you feel happy and do what makes you feel safe. At this point in time, Mr. Modi has said that life is more important than the monetary gains. Fine. Yeah, I think that I approve of that. Because we are 60, I'm 70, does not mean that I should now raise my feet and stop working. You do. God has given us, medical profession is one profession where we can keep working till our last breath. So let's keep working if it makes us happy. And if it makes us unhappy or upset working, well, don't work. You don't have to work. This is the time to do what you want to do, not what you have to do. Till December, a guy in 30s or 40s did not go to the clinic, then his family would have bashed him up. Today, they won't do that. So you do what makes you happy, not what makes others happy. And you take safety measures which you think are right. About whether the pattern of practice will change, I think it will. See, we humans are innovative. We always adapt. I mentioned once that Darwin's theory of fittest does not mean physically fit who survive. It is people who adapt are the ones who survive. And we will adapt. Human race has always adapted to the worst of the problems. We are at this point in time petrified. Like we were petrified 30 years ago of HIV. Every time we saw a patient, we said, Arre Bapare HIV, Arre Bapare HIV. If I have got to get HIV, I would rather get it the pleasurable way than getting out of touching a patient. But then we managed to learn to live with the fear of HIV with normal precautions. Likewise, we will also get better understanding of this coronavirus, and we will also learn to adapt. Every time there is a catastrophe, human mind goes through 4 stages. The first stage is of denial. हो ही नहीं सकता, बनने वाला ही नहीं है, ये सब झूठी बातें हैं, this political propaganda. Second is who's to blame, a phase of anger. मेरा क्या दोष, who's to blame. Third is compromise. I'll do this, but protect me. I'll do that, protect me. We are somewhere between phase 2 and phase 3 at the moment. We have gone over that phase of denial. नहीं, ऐसा कुछ नहीं. गुजरात में तो होने वाला ही नहीं है, चलो रास गरबा करते हैं. From there, we have come down to saying, किसका दोष? सरकार ने ये क्यों नहीं किया, वो कहीं नहीं किया, लॉकआउट 1 हफ्ता पहले क्यों नहीं किया, फला क्यों नहीं किया, ढिकना क्यों नहीं किया, ऐसा करना. Everybody has an opinion, but we have to follow the ruler. Remember, in a train, there might be 20 compartments, but there can be only one engine. So there has to be one person or one authority that dictates what the rest of the people do. Because there are 1,000 people in the train, they cannot tell one single engine driver what to do, what not to do. It is one single engine driver who takes thousands to their destination. And you can't say 1,000 is more than one, so let 1,000 people decide. No, it's just one engine driver that drives the train. So we are in that stage, we have to accept. So that stage of denial is gone. The stage of who to blame is gone. We are now in a compromise. मैं मास्क पहनूं तो अच्छा है क्या, मैं ये पहनूं तो अच्छा है क्या, मैं क्लिनिक में भी पीपीई पहन के बैठूं, पीपीई पहन के बैठोगे तो गर्मी में मर जाओगे unless you have a good air conditioner. Now, slowly, like this webinar, we are accepting that this is the reality. I need to exercise physical distancing. I need to have better social interaction. I am going to get anxious. I am going to get frustrated. I am going to get angry. But I am going to control it by realizing that anger, frustration, anxiety, depression don't help. Only thing that helps is keep your mind cool and think and do as best as you can. There is only that much that you can do. We have our limitations. So you don't have to sacrifice yourself, cross the limitations to be helpful to others. If we do that, we'll be one of the names in the list of 2-minute silence at the next annual conference. We don't want to do that. So don't be over enthusiastic. Exercise caution and don't keep your things bottled inside. Speak it out to people. That's the way to do it.
Okay, and in the end, I would like to give you some mantras for peaceful mental status for family physician in this practice. Because as you know, having said everything about the taking anti-infective precautions, this and that. Family physicians always feel that we always are working in limited resources and exposed to large number of patients with limited resources. We have got hardly a couple of staff, maybe some limited clinic space, this and that. So, anything you can say a formula for keep your mind cool and keep fighting this battle till the end and come out with flying colors.
We are the victims of our own creation. We preferred to work in that clinic with that much staff. Nobody stopped us from hiring 20 staff members, one staff member for every patient that comes to us. No, we have opted to set this up. So let's not find faults. Let's make the best of what we have rather than what we should have had. There is no standard mantra. There is no one size that fits all. We have to individualize it. We have to have that faith in ourselves and the faith that I am going to do it and I am going to be an example for others to follow, at least people in my vicinity to follow. Our personal agenda, our personal prejudices can at this point in time be set aside because we have one common enemy, the virus globally. Think of that. When you said mantras, well, reciting shlokas or prayers helps. Whatever your religion, whichever religion that you believe in, though the temples and the mosques and the churches are all closed, of course, but still reciting the mantra in the set raga, set pattern, the lay in which a shloka or a mantra or a prayer is set. Recite your prayers in that rhythm and that will regulate your breathing. It will work like pranayam. You're going to feel cool and quiet and do what you can. The moment you feel fatigued, tell your patient, sorry, we'll meet tomorrow. Don't feel shy to tell the patient that you are feeling anxious. You are also a human being. Or tell the patient, You wait, let me cool myself. I'm going to take this little towel, put it on my face till I feel cool. I'll see you 5 minutes or 10 minutes later. Do not hesitate to admit to yourself and to others that you are getting anxious or tired. Take a break in the middle of your practice hours. Tell the patients, wait, I'm getting too tensed up or tired. I need 5 minutes for myself. Just wait. We'll get together and say, I can do this much. When the patient starts demanding too much, tell your patient that this is all I can do for you at this point in time. Let's wait for the lockout to be lifted. Let's wait for this corona pandemic to die out, and then we'll see what we can do.
So, as you this raises one more point. We always, as of now, because of lockout, the number of patients are very less. Most of us are sitting almost, we can say, we are relatively free. So again, there is an apprehension going in mind that after the lockout, the flurry of patients may come in and things can go haywire.
So that will happen. Of course, that will happen. The money that you are not making at this point in time, you will make twice that amount within the first 2 weeks of the lockout being lifted. Thank your stars. So be happy that your patients have still retained their loyalty for you and they keep coming to you. So don't get frustrated at this current problem, and don't get very elated, and don't start looking upon yourself as God when things start improving. This is a phase of life. Learn to take ups and downs in its stride. This is an economic standstill. No two ways about it. Our incomes have gone down. No two ways about it. But then when we started our practice, what did we tell ourselves? Arey Bhagwan, let me have enough to make my 2 ends meet. All of us, when we started the practice, we had only one prayer. Let me make 2 ends meet. With God's grace, we are at this point in time in a position where almost every one of us is able to make 2 ends meet without new income coming in. And it is soul will. And we'll find ways of doing it. So don't get frustrated just now with having to break your fixed deposits or whatever. And don't get very elated, and don't start, become an egoist when practice starts. Say, मेरे बगैर तुम्हारा काम नहीं बनता था. नहीं, आपके बगैर भी हम जीते थे डॉक्टर साहब. अभी आप आए तो जरा हमको मदद हो गई. We have not been going for movies and restaurants and all. So that doesn't mean that we can't survive with other restaurants. But we are going to go to restaurants because everybody wants variety. So the patients also will come to you. They might try another doctor for a while because they also want a variety. But take it in its stride. Respond to situation as it occurs, not in any prefix manner. Vajpayee Sahib is back in I think he's able to now speak.
No. Yes, I can.
You can hear
सर,
it.
वाजपेयी साहब, आप कुछ पूछना चाहते हैं सर?
मैं कुछ पूछना ही चाह रहा हूँ. मुझे डॉक्टर विहांग का स्टैंड बहुत अच्छा लगा. इनने कहा जो होना है सो होगा. नंबर 1. और जान है तो जहान है.
मेरा साहब ये कहना है कि जो होने वाला है उसको हम परेशान होने से बदल नहीं सकते हैं.
Yes.
तो अपनी दो तरफ से पिटाई क्यों होने देनी? जो होगा सो होगा. वो तो अपनी पिटाई होगी ही होगी. इनकम चली जाएगी, कम हो जाएगी. चली तो नहीं जाएगी, कम हो जाएगी, वापस भी आएगी. वो तो अपनी पिटाई हो ही रही है. वायरस भी अपने को पीट रहा है. तो फिर हम खुद अंदर से परेशान होके, गुस्सा करके, बेचैन होके, मायूसी महसूस क्यों करना? हम वायरस को तो नहीं बचा सकते. ये बाकी के सब जो हकीकत है उसको तो हम नहीं बदल सकते. वो तो पिटाई होनी है. दुनिया भर में सबकी हो रही है तो अपनी भी हो रही है. तो वो तो पिटाई हो रही है, उसके ऊपर से दुगनी पिटाई क्यों करना? ये मेरा कहना है सर. ये नहीं कि जान अभी जो है सो है सर.
Right. You're right.
जी सर.
Okay. Thank you, sir. So,
question, sir.
yes, Varun bhai, please go ahead.
Sir, most must explanation, like very detailed explanation and the way of life. I just want to highlight the one point. You correct me when it's required. The coronavirus is not that bad virus, which was the previously we have MERS, SARS, and even a swine flu. We had an outbreak of swine flu in 2008. The people are not that much of a crazy or like I can say it's a panic, which we are seeing after of a humankind. In a 12 years, we have many technologies. Now we become a mature as well. The newer technology, newer doctors also come up, right? The ventilation is also come up. Setup of ICUs is increased. But the panicity, which was not there in 2008, 2009, which I had seen when I was a student and just passed out, but I am seeing the last of the thing on that. So either we are develop many things on a technology, we are not using our brain. Now what happened, as you said, correctly said, sir, ke reduce your corona timing, right? So what is happening है happening, जो होना है, जो होना है वो सो होगा ही. But now on a WhatsApp, the social media now making the people more abuse. Now even in a hospital, when we made a COVID patient and non-COVID patient, now the sufferer are non-COVID patients. It's too much suffering on the patient side. You can see, you can feel लाचारी तुमने देखा है. Sir, I want to admit this patient. I went to the government setup. I did my COVID. COVID is negative. Now this hospital, which hospital you are going to admit? Then I call the hospital. They say, okay, but it's negative. Still it is suspected. Keep in the isolation. Keep where the PP. Something is going to the humanity, right? I have a stand. I am fighting with the management. So many doctors, like now doctors want to operate. They can say the COVID, do the COVID as well. Like say pre-op ECG, now COVID is also come up in that. The patient was coming on that area where there is a no single outbreak. Outside the Ahmedabad, the village area, though still surgeon is saying like that. Still the management are telling that. And the bill, hospital bill of the patient is tremendously increased. As you correctly said, hamari income kam hogi, the economy has stagnant, is down, and after the 6 months, right, the people not have that much of the paying capacity. Second point I want to add, the PP. What is the PP? Is the equipment which protect yourself. Doesn't mean that you need a disposable that suit. That was made actually the Western country where there is a washing and reusing concept is not there. There's a use and throw. So that's how the PP who using in a operation theater come out to a ICU, to an infection setup to protect yourself. Now we are taking everything. We are seeing the COVID with the glasses of the US, with the glasses of the China, with the glasses of the Italy. We are not making our own guidelines, our own the PP requirements, like the based on the resources. Now the reporter wearing a PP on a road, and the health line worker are without PP, simple mask, they are working on that. So sometimes I'm mixing up like all the questions. The frustration of the people have, the frustration of the doctor have who want to treat, and the sufferer of the non-COVID patient. And everything I think is a bane of WhatsApp, because it's an easy communication media compared to the Facebook and other thing, and Geo, right, which make everything free. And sometimes like in a lighter tone I say, the Geo had tremendously damaged human hours, productivity of the young people. I don't know your view, please.
You have raised very interesting points. That this is what I was saying. When we panic, common sense takes a backseat, and we are all responding to a panic generated by the media. The media doesn't say anything good about anyone. I live in Mahim, which is close to Dharavi in Mumbai. So I keep getting patients saying, oh doctor, you are Mahim near Dharavi, so are you quarantined? Arey bhai, I'm not. If one building is quarantined, 20 buildings around it are not quarantined. But the news will show only one building, Mahim building quarantined. So I have got maybe 24 relatives in Ahmedabad. They keep calling up. Are you? Some of them, even they're surprised when I pick up the phone. They almost expect me to have kind of succumbed to it. But they say, okay, you're picking the phone. Are you alive? Are you okay? Do you have fever? Mahim is quarantined. Arey bhai, Mahim is not quarantined. So, it generates more. Newspapers want to sensationalize everything.
Right.
So they will only sensationalize things which increases their viewership. And we cater to it. We also then stick to the TVs. Cut it down. Who are these newspaper reporters? They are not mature guys. They are these young lads who go to the community and sensationalize everything. Aapko COVID hua, kaisa lagta hai? So, what a stupid question. Nobody will say, Aapko COVID ho gaya, chalo naachte hain. Nobody likes it. So, they're stupid questions. But then what comes on the TV is, log ghabra gaye, log dar gaye, hi. If somebody says, my own Bridge Candy hospital staff, couple of them got quarantined, they were in the hospital. I used to phone them up every day. So the first day was all panic. Then I would speak to them. By second, third day now, they phoned me up and said, sir, we have had lunch and we are happy and we are this and we are that. They are still in the hospital. They are in the quarantine. But they are still phoning me up. So the question is how we convey What the TV conveys is sensationalized. माहिम का देखो ये बेचारा लड़का कितना परेशान है, मगर बाकी लाखों लोग परेशान नहीं है, उसका क्या? That is missed out.
True.
You say 600 people died, but today I think what it's 800 people died. In the city of in the state of Maharashtra, 600 people used to die of road accidents every day. Those 650 people have survived because they didn't have a road. They didn't have a chance to get into a road accident. That they will not mention. कि अरे look at the statistics. 600 बम्बई की in fact हिंदुस्तान की बस्ती बढ़ जाएगी क्योंकि लोग मरना कम हो गए. They won't say that.
Think positive.
Yeah. So think of
Think
that.
positive.
हाँ, think positive. I would be if the TV was to say भारत की जनसंख्या बढ़ जाएगी क्योंकि रेलवे एक्सीडेंट में लोगों ने मरना बंद कर दिया है, तो उसकी चिंता नहीं है. मगर 600 लोग कोविड में गए, हाय 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 हाय, तो किसकी हाय हाय किसकी खुशी ये भी तय करना. Don't respond to panic. Respond to common sense. That can only happen. Common sense is the least common of the senses in mind. Respond to common sense and think with logic. Remain stable and don't respond to anger with anger. That will help.
Thank you, sir. Stay with us. If some more questions come, we'll take it in the evening. Take it in the after Dr. Varun's session.
Certainly, I have nowhere else to go. I'm sitting in front of the.
Now, formally, I will invite second speaker of today, Dr. Varun Patel, for his talk. Dr. Varun is a young, dynamic pulmonologist and a critical care specialist from vibrant city of Ahmedabad. He is attached to Sterling Hospital as of now, and as I've already told, he's one of the frontline COVID warriors from the doctors who work with the COVID patient directly in day out, and even in a lot of strategy planning here and there. His special areas of interest are sleep medicine, interventional pulmonology, sleep medicine, and allergy. So without much ado, I will request Dr. Varun to go ahead with his presentation, which will be again of, sir has told about the mental preparation that we need to do while in the going to the clinic and after coming to the clinic. And now Dr. Varun is going to tell about the practical aspects, the materialistic aspects of family practice that we need to learn this in this current pandemic. Dr. Varun, please.
Okay, thank you so much for a nice introduction. I think most of the thing with the mental preparation, physical preparation, Dr. Vihang Vaya sir has taken very well. So we are 6 people, I think, right now. And do we go for a presentation or just we have a talk?
You want to go please cover some silent points that how to manage the influx of patient and everything. Right. That's what we have, and then we'll go. I will take up with the questions.
Okay, so I just go with the I set my presentation with the screen, and let's see on that. Introduction I'm not going to do. Everybody knows what is the COVID and how we started and how it's going. Now, how we are practicing, right? And sir nicely says she's attached to the bridge candy and now he's in her 70s, and then hospital staff say no, you should not go. So I also advise that who are at more of risk of a COVID infection are the latter part of their age, about the 6 and 70K. The person who have underlying medical condition, which have some of the immunocompromised condition like diabetes mellitus, chronic liver disease, chronic kidney disease, chronic heart disease, which you have a EF and ischemic heart disease, lung disease like asthma, COPD, ILD, bronchiectasis, etc., and the patient who are on who having a cancer or who are on a chemotherapy, or the patient who are in a chronic condition who take on a steroid, who are pregnant, and other things as well. That is ourselves. If we are not coming on this category, definitely we go for set up our clinic in post Lokapira. Now, the patient to be avoided on GP clinic, 14 days of international travel history. Now it's not much of a weighted value because now we are stage 2 and stage of the community transformation. The patient who had come in a direct contact of a COVID, or the patient who are coming with the hotspot, like in Ahmedabad, we have a couple of good area hotspots like that. The person who are a healthcare worker who are providing care to the COVID patients, like that. But we cannot avoid the asymptomatic cases, right? The patient do not have a symptoms, they are harboring a virus and they are spreading the virus. The people who are coming in contact of that. So at the same time, each and every person in a society we should consider as a COVID positive, right? But doesn't mean that like we are the fight to that, we have to go avoid to that. No, we have to have a practice because we are not going to live in a moon for a 1 year, 2 months and then we'll come back to the earth when the COVID is gone. No, when the lockdown is going to open, we have a spike increase in the cases and might be double and might be a 3 times higher. So the thing is main, we have to avoid direct and high risk contact to a suspected COVID patient as well. So whom to refer? Like in a clinic, suspected case, as per the history, we made one of pre-check era in our reception, which includes the travel history, which includes the area which they live. It includes the family member have a COVID, it includes the cough, breathlessness, fever, and categorized in a point. Less than 3 points, they are safe. You can see on your OPD. 3 to 8 points, suspected COVID, ask them to go to quarantine and contact to the government facility for the COVID. And the more than 9, advise for admission and then go for the COVID testing. So less than 3 symptoms, definitely we can see in our clinic, right? So what are the things we have to keep a measure in our clinic? So limit the germs can enter in the facility. That means, as sir says, table when we speak, cough, droplet is come down on settle on the clinic area, especially on a table which we are sitting. Okay, so that area minimum germ contamination should be there. Isolate the symptomatic patient as soon as possible, enter in the clinic and protect the healthcare worker. So I think with the long of the practice and in lockdown area, the patient first to call ourselves, right? They call the doctor, doctor, like I have this problem, should I come or not? So you can try and categorize over a phone. If you feel so, the patient is not a COVID patient, you can definitely call to your clinic, right? And if the patient directly coming to your clinic, as I told you, one piece of paper should be given to the patient. Categorize the symptoms and based on the symptom, you can ask them, Bhaiya, chalo, you can come to the clinic, but your score is higher. Definitely, you need a treatment. You go to the proper care setting in a government setting, hospital, right? The COVID center. So now come to the management, restrict the OPD timing to limited hours. That means most of the people right now, we are using the morning 10 to 12 or 10 to 1 o'clock or evening, we are opening our OPD timings. When the patient call, we segregate the patient between the 15 minutes gap and give the limited call to the patient to attend the clinic. So we can avoid crowding outside the clinic. Ask the patient to come with the patient only if possible. If the patient is minor or old age, they can't come by their own. There should be accompanied by the family member, but the family member should be restricted to the one. Second, when the patient's coming to the clinic, make such an arrangement in a waiting area. Patient should be sit about at least the 1 meter, if possible, more than 1 meter of the gap. Okay, when the patient coming to your clinic, ask the patient to sit around the away of the 1 meters, like that. Sometimes what happen, everybody has habit. When come to the clinic, they come too close to us, like face to face and tell, doctor, I have a cough, doctor, I have a breathlessness, right? So in that case, the sitting area of the patient, that patient chair or the stool should be tied to your table at the another corner. So by deliberately patient move their chair or stool and want to come out to near to you, right? That can be prevented. One thing. Second, you can avoid to touching the patient's material like the patient file. Okay, most of the patient have a habit before they start with the symptom, patient open up their file and say, I took this many medicine, આટલી બધી દવાઓ લીધી સાહેબ સારું નથી થયું, right? આટલા report કરાવી દીધેલા છે before they start with the symptoms. So avoid to touch the patient file, patient report. Ask them to send a WhatsApp or email his report which is previously done, or you can have a look from afar, like most of the symptoms. And we are clever enough to judge what the patient the problem has. Okay, the patient with the respiratory symptoms, it's better to ask to wear a mask. Okay, if they don't bring the mask, now you can provide a mask at your clinic. So prevent the aerosol generated from patient itself. It's reduced about the 50% of aerosol if the patient wear a mask himself rather than we are wearing mask. Okay. We also should wear a mask. Which type of a mask? Everybody knows the N95, right? So N95, which filter out about most of the virus because porosity is very low, right? This kind of the mask you can wear. Now, the one common point, we have a habit to touch the mask, adjust the mask, like, and we are constant keeping touching on the mask and our face. So that should be avoided because when we wear the mask, there should be a tight gap in between, and that makes our somewhat uncomfortable. Okay, so when we touching the mask, all the viruses, dust, bacteria come on your hand, and then you like we scratch, we adjust the spectacles because the most of the people, my friend, who have a spectacle, they have a habit to adjust it, right? The itching somewhere in the ear, the nose, facial area. So avoid touching your face when you sit in your clinic, especially when you wear a mask. Don't touch your mask and your face. As Sir Dr. Vihang Vaiga rightly says, use a goggles which are covering the whole eyes. If you know not that, you can use this mask, right, which have a plastic cover which is transparent. So when you wear it, it cover the most of your the face. Okay. Another, if you wear a 95 mask, you can have a face shield, right? That is can be work like this, so it will cover your whole your face. After complete your cleaning, you can just hold behind that and you can remove it. Okay. Wear a gloves, right? When you examine the patient, wear the gloves each and every time. So when you come on the clinic, you ready with the cup of the set. The gloves, after the examination, how to remove it. Okay. So you have to make a hole that pinch it and remove. Okay. And this is your non-contaminated, non-infected, inserted inside the gloves and then pull it out. Okay. Remember, infected part, infected gloves part, come to the gloves, step it out, and the non-infected part, insert inside and come out. Okay. Now coming to the PPE. What is the PPE? The PPE is like a personal protective equipment which cover the cap, the mask, eye goggles, or air shield mask, face mask. You can have a apron, shoe cover. Okay. Now, as I told you, we are seeing the disease in the spectacles of a vision of a USA or Italy or a China. In our country, there is a scarcity of the PPE. So what you can use a surgical gown, right? Which we are using. So keep the gown, use the flap, cover it up. So this gown prevents your cloth, which is might be a spoiled by the droplet of the patient. Okay. Now, when you finish your limited hour OPD, when you going out from your OPD, how to remove it? Keep 2 fingers inside after removing the gloves, and then pull it out and keep it over side. So outer side is inner side is outer side. That prevent the virion or part of the virus to spread around. If the PP you can discard. If the gown or N95, we have a scarcity of the mask. We are not the mask is not available like as freely. You can use it. You can use reuse it by a proper sterilization. So what I am doing it, I use N95 mask. I make one plastic dabba here, strip out 2 on a bag, seal the plastic dabba, keep it on sunlight for 3 to 4 days, and again next after 5 or 6 days I use that mask. So I have a Monday mask, Tuesday mask, Wednesday mask, Thursday mask, Friday mask, Saturday mask. Okay, and by a Sunday we have off. The Monday, now after 7 days, we are again use the same mask. The virus cannot live more than 24 hours, but rest of the 5 days, it's like we are making a more sure. Okay. So the second thing, the keep the things for a office is a different, hospital is a different, and keep things for a house is a different, like pen, the water bottle, phone, everything. If possible, don't use a cell phone in your clinic. If you use it, uh, uh, sterile it by a sterilium or a disinfectant before you go home. Okay, don't touch anything here and there when you are in a OPD, and etc etc, as I told you. Okay, as I told you, like in a Gujarat we have a custom. We already always come entering the home after removing our shoes outside. Even the part of Maharashtra, even Maharashtra also, Rajasthan also, using that our culture habit, right? We not wear a footwear in a house, which we are using outside. As Dr. Vyenga correctly said, remove your set of your shoes outside of your house and wear a new one in your house, right? So it is a part of our culture, and that is learned very anciently. Okay, because most of the food sources are contained infected with the viruses and bacteria. Okay, when you enter in the home, right, ask, call from your office to a wife or the person who are at home, keep the door open. Okay, when they come to the door, put everything, your wallet, cell phones, kitchen, into the one plastic bag, and as herself you can disinfect on that. Okay, enter the home without touching anything, like, so most of the time, like, we open the handle of a house door. Don't do that. Ask the house person to open the door, wash your hand, and then enter the bathroom, have a bath, right? Change the clothes, and which are the clothes which is wearing on a clinic, that should be a soak in a detergent or detergent powder, or in a with a soap for half an hour, or in a hot water, and then change the clothes and come out with the family, sit with the family, have a fun, uh, 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 play some games with the kids, and enjoy that. Okay, then whatever the collection in a bag, that is your wallet, pen, the kitchen, everything, keep there close, because you do not want a wallet in your house, you don't want a car key in a house, right? It will be there in a packet, or next day when you go out, jeep open and take it out, so that you prevent to bring the infection of your clinic to your house. Now, the frequent touching surface, handle of door, switches, switchboards, right? That frequently the people are going to touch on that. So that should be a disinfect by every 3 to 4 hourly. On a household which is very less touched surface, can be cleaned by once in a day. Okay. When you use the lift, the people are who living in a flat area, okay, or in a hospital. So you can use a piece of the paper to call the lift, close the doors, and which are the floor you want to go, and discard that piece of the paper nearby. Okay, so that's how you prevent the other infection from other infected people to yourself, because nowadays you suspect every person is potentially source of the COVID, and the COVID virus lives about 24 hours on a mental surface. I cover up the both hand hygiene. Everybody knows hand washing about 30 seconds with a soap and water, and 20 seconds for a sterilium or a disinfectant. But all the face, like inner side the palm, outer side the palm, in between the finger, the fingertip, thumb, hollow part in between, and a wrist. Okay, so that should be a habit of hand wash, not only for a doctor or healthcare worker. It should be everybody in the family. Now I teach this kind of the hand wash to my daughter to be practiced day-to-day life. When they come from a garden, they have to wash the hand like this, and then they come together for a dinner or for a food. Okay. Now, protective gears. Okay, the virus will transmit, as a sir rightly correct, right? It's a very egoistic. Unless you call in your body, the virus will not come to your body. So hand hygiene is the first point. Second, the protection with the mask from a airdrop contamination, right? So whatever the gear protection which available at your clinic, right? Wear a mask compulsory. After wearing the mask, don't touch your face unless your work is over. Don't touch your spectacle. Don't adjust the glasses. Wear a face mask is possible if you don't wear a glass. Apron, even simple apron can protect the virus to enter your own clothes. Right? So mass etiquette, as I say, social distancing is a must. 1 meter, 2 meter, whatever way it's possible, we have to do it, right? We have to be disciplined ourselves. Now, after this much of the state, it's a COVID outbreak in the India is because of the people's etiquette. Okay, so we need to be change our etiquette throughout. Now, wearing the PP, it's okay. Any clean part you can wear the PP, but the donning is very good. Okay, in designated area. So first, when you wear a PP, donning the PP, first wear a gown, then mask, ear gown, shoe cover, and lastly the gloves. When you remove the first gloves, right, shoe cover, gown, face cover, and lastly the mask. Okay, so the combined protection, as I told you, the head to toe, we have to protect ourselves to get infected, and maximum like to take the infection from clinic to a house. Okay, so we have a transportation protocol. We need not to be a discuss around that at this point of time. The home quarantine guideline, everybody knows now. The home quarantine, after a few days, I think government come with a new guideline. Positive asymptomatic patient, it is going to be a home quarantine rather than the close contact, because of our health facilities now are filling up very fast, right? The patient who actually need a hospital care, like the sick patient, comorbidity patient are oxygen therapy, are not getting the hospital treatment. So on that part, the government within a week, they will come up with a new guideline, the positive asymptomatic keep it home. So we have an etiquette of the home quarantine, and we have to read that. Now environment sanitization, right? As we said, the hypochlorite solution and ordinary bleach are explained very well. Now, the one point I have to point out, the road, streets, and houses are sterilized with the sprinkles of hypochlorite. There is no use at all. Hypochlorite, the disinfectant material, is a chlorine gas, right? As we use in a swimming pool. Okay, when you sprinkle it out, the gas will evaporate. So only the thing which are sprinkling is the water, nothing else. So the waste of the resources and money. Okay, so don't sprinkle it. You soak inside that, right? In a sodium hypochlorite. Now, that is a guideline from the home quarantine, how we behave, how the patient has to be a call when they have a problem. The sir very well taken this aspect, emotional needs of the healthcare worker, even ourselves and family member as well. So I'm complete my presentation here, and I think we have some question answer now. Very good point about prophylaxis of hydroxychloroquine, right? So there is no such a guideline. We started with the Sterling as a COVID hospital. We given hydroxychloroquine to the staff, right? That is for keep their morale high, to show them we are then with them. We are taking care of their health and each and every aspect, right? As sir very rightly says, be a happy, have a fun. So we create a sports room in a hospital for a staff where the staff can recreate. We organizing daily some small programs about meditation and then laughing and etc. that staff designated area. Okay, thank you so much. I think we can have some questions answered. Yes, sir.
It just occurs to me that look at the plight of a young bride. When she goes into her in-laws' house the first day, she's petrified of the mother-in-law. She doesn't know how the in-laws will behave with her. a little while, little experience, and then the rest of the family is scared of her. Same thing is likely to happen with COVID. COVID is like the new daughter-in-law, I mean, the new mother-in-law for all of us. And we are all petrified. Once we get a hang of it, the virus will be scared of us. What happened in the days of tuberculosis or HIV or influenza virus? People were petrified, didn't know how to deal with TB. People were dying of TB. Now, barring a few treatment-resistant cases, we don't see that kind of fatality with tuberculosis. So, this is something new, strange. It has caught us by surprise. We don't know how to deal with it. The moment we get a hang of it, like Varun Bhai so nicely said, we will know exactly how to deal with it. 4 weeks ago, hydroxychloroquine was not available in the medicine store. Everybody went on taking it. Till there was one case of an anesthetist in Assam who died of HCQ toxicity. So now there is plenty of it in the drugstores. So we have to treat it as it comes rather than presume that it's going to finish us.
As we are discussing about hydroxychloroquine, a question for you, Dr. Varun. There is a question comes that from a doctor that when I had some issue in past, doctor has prescribed me hydroxychloroquine before. See, now this is BC, means before Corona. Now, after in the current times, the hydroxychloroquine side effects are much highlighted or hype, whether it is due to shortage or they are real.
If a patient having rheumatoid arthritis, he's already taking HCQ since last so many years. What he will do?
Yes, Varun bhai.
Are you able to listen me? Are you able to listen me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
If a patient of RA positive taking already HCQ since last 10 years,
Yes.
then what will be with
What is the advantage now?
The thing is that now corona treatment, right? Everything is trial and error. Nobody's new. It's the first the virus since last 4 months, 5 months in a market, in a global, and the people hypothesize the pathophysiology of the virus, pathophysiology of the body, and then hypothesize the mechanism of the drug, and they start using on that. Now the hydroxychloroquine, how it's come? So they found, as you Vajpayee correctly said, the patient who already on a HCQs for a rheumatoid arthritis, or the patient was SLE already on a hydroxychloroquine. Okay. Now the insurance company, because in a Western everything goes on a data, on a system, right? On the patient data, patient symptom by insurance company. Now they analyze the patient who are on directly initially on hydroxychloroquine, they were lesser mortality, right? And hydroxychloroquine produce the acidic environment in a cell where actually the virus get replicated in a cell. So that's how the logic come up, and the hydroxychloroquine was started. Now coming for the side effect, the hydroxychloroquine is a long time tested medicine. Okay, we use it from a malaria era, and then as an anti-inflammatory effect, rheumatoid arthritis actually we are using on that. There is no much of a cardiac side effect. Yes, the patient already predisposed to QT prolongation, and that kind of the patient, they have a high chances of the cardiac arrhythmia. And the patient already on other anti-arrhythmic drug or the other drug which prolong a QT, like azithromycin, like a quinolone, right? And HCQS, they have a more chances to a cardiac arrhythmia because of the QT prolongation. So on that case of the said, the guideline right now says the first drug to omit is a azithromycin and continue with a hydroxychloroquine. With that, you can monitor on ECG about the QT prolongation or QT time.
Okay.
I think,
yes, please.
So, Dr. Zari Rudwadia,
sir.
Varun would know. So he and I work in the same hospital, and I know him pretty well. So we were discussing this hydroxychloroquine with him. He said the data to suggest that HCQ will work in coronavirus is not very robust. That's one. Two, at this point in time, it's the cheapest drug probably available, and it's been used for a long, long time for a different indication. So, third, Donald Trump wants tons of hydroxychloroquine being sent to the US from India. And the government of Maharashtra also had given a directive of using HCQ for frontline workers. So it's a drug which is being recommended, one, because it's cheap, two, because it's available, three, it's in some ways time tested. But whether it is whether it is tested for corona is not proper kind of data is not, we don't have.
Okay.
Okay. We now know that there are certain cardiac deaths attributable to HCQ. This concept of QTC interval was not even known to us about 20 years ago. So it's a question of risk-benefit ratio that may not be in favor of HCQ as a blanket medication.
Right.
And he also said that for guys like me who are not working with COVID patients, even a surgical mask, which would not blow the candle away, is a good enough use of the mask. N95 is not available to all of us.
Yeah, okay. So that was the method to preserve the N95. Give the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday name. Keep on a bag. Keep it on a sunlight, or keep in a corner of the house. After a 1 week, you again use it. So most of the viral vira lost or the damage. So that is a one way to reuse the things.
After washing it, if we iron it with electric iron, will that heat of the ironing, istri karne ka, will it kill the virus?
Sir, probably yes, because the viral cannot survive the temperature above the 25. And that was the hypothetical. We Indian are initially say, April temperature ho jayega 28, 40, 48, 49. In Gujarat it's a 50, right? So we are all the same. Now, at the same time, as our logic, we are not working on temperature at the 40 or 50, right? We are working in a temperature, room temperature is 24, or sometime in IT companies of 16 or 18. And most of the close contact are inside the house or inside the building, not on the street side. So the temperature theory, that is correct. Like patient is, virus is not going to survive after beyond 25, but we are living comfortably on 18 degrees.
Right.
In a clinic, in a house, in a offices. So that theory, like temperatures increase, the virus is gone away. No, it probably gone away on I can say the slums area, but it's not going away on working area, like especially in the IT companies.
Okay, and Varun bhai, among the variety of N95 masks, there are some 3-layer masks, there are some 4-layer masks, and there are 5-layer masks in N95. And as you know, the demand has gone so up. So it's very difficult to find out which mask is genuine. It is the 5-layer N95.
See, that is not any 3-layer, 5-layer, 4-layer or N95. N95, that is the marking is given on base of that porosity, right? The lesser the pore, like they are lesser amount, the size less than the 5 micron. Okay, so when you wear any mask and you want to like stagnate, it's very difficult to breathe in. You can see the mask is coming to inside, right? You feel suffocated. Okay, so that is the correct marks on that. Because as you correct, like in India, everybody are master and everybody is creative, and they want the benefit of the situation. They come into all the variety. So the classical, as sir says, any surgical mask cannot blow the candle, right? The typical N95, which give a suffocation to you when you wear some 5 or 10 times, 10 minutes, you can have a moisture and perspiration around your face, and the difficulty breathe in, breathe out. So I think that is a correct. Otherwise, the company has a standard. They wrote N95, but we are not going to check it because the many types are
okay. A question for Vaya sir. A lot of patients are anxious around that, so they ask for anxiolytics on phone, and some of us do oblige them with a prescription on phone. So 2 issues: either some of the chemists they do not supply, and second, follow-up is difficult. But then they don't call up and say we are doing fine and we'll stop anxiolytic. How to handle this situation, sir?
This is going to be a much more difficult aspect of this coronavirus pandemic that we are going to face. We are going to face an epidemic of benzodiazepine addiction. And that's going to be a calamity for which we don't really have an answer at this point in time. When people ask you for a prescription of an anxiolytic, very often the act of taking the medicine, the placebo effect is just as powerful. So having an antihistaminic drug or a small dose of, say, a drug like tryptamar or quetiapine should be able to help just as much. And tell the patient that this coronavirus thing is a time-bound thing. But if you get addicted, it's a long-term thing. So if you take a medicine And then the whole process of going off the medicine might be worse than the anxiety that you are experiencing now. Caution this patient this. And then tell the patient that first try out safer drugs like an antihistamine or even melatonin, though there is no study on melatonin in corona, but something that would make the patient feel good, comfortable, and try and see if the placebo genesis itself works in your patient. It's perfectly normal. It's actually a good clinical practice to use a placebo so long as you know that you are using a placebo and don't start believing that you are a magic drug prescriber. So give a placebo, being fully knowledge that you are using the patient's anxiety, amount of placebo genesis in anxious patients is pretty good. So the confidence with which you prescribe the drug and the support in the are the ones that work very well.
Yeah. So words are more important than the drug.
Make a physical tired, means give a work and something, and you get a physical tired.
That's it. That's right. Work out, jump around, skip the rope, CD chalu karo. That helps.
Okay, and Varun bhai, there is a question about that. There is a theory that minimum 30 minutes of exposure with the COVID patient is necessary to get infected.
Now the criteria for a contact as a WHO standard definition is that if you are within a 1 meter of the patient for a 10 minutes, right, it's considered as a close contact. So if you spending the time within the 1 meter of the vicinity with the patient, right, more than 10 minutes is a close contact. Okay, and that is definition is going to use for a quarantine a contact person. Okay. So it doesn't require the 30 minutes on that. The potential transportation of a virus from one person to another person is any mean of time. But as per the WHO guideline in definition, the close contact is within a 1 meter, 10 minutes contact with the two person is considered as a close contact.
Okay, and a lot of patients, they insist on measuring the blood pressure, and at times we do use pulse oximeter when we examine the patient, or we have to measure the blood pressure. Then how to practically manage this thing? We cannot sterilize the blood pressure instrument itself, maybe pulse oximeter, but not BP instrument. How to do about this?
I think we can use a digital blood pressure machine, right? Or simply method as a family physician, you put a 3 finger on that, you can find out it's a higher or not. It's just satisfaction. I think most of the patients are hypertensive, and this like the panic era, everybody has the elevated of the hypertension. Okay, so with your medication, give a words of the Varya sir, make calm and cool like that. But the way of practice with each and every patient is a different. Then I think the person who are treating are based just can give it the Vadi devo. You can put a finger, you find out the higher BP or low BP or normal BP is just only anxiety which cause it. Or if required, you can use a digital because it make your difference. You are not come to the contact, and then you can make out something.
Sir, please.
A primary care physician friend of mine, he uses 2 layers. He cuts the newspaper into strips and puts 2 layers of the newspaper before putting the blood pressure cuff, thinking that the blood pressure cuff will then be kept sterile or not exposed directly. That was your question, how to keep the BP cuff sterile. So this is what he does. He puts newspaper and then applies the BP cuff.
Okay, makes sense. and I think there is a question about sanitizing cabin installed in the family physician clinic, but I think that's already been taken care. That there is no use of doing that.
1% bleach. That's 250 milliliters of bleach in 1 liter of water in a spray can and just spread it. That's just sterilizing the space. And don't let it come on your clothes or on your wooden furniture. Otherwise, there will be a discoloration.
Right. So I think that takes care of the questions from the audience. We have got a sizable audience, more than 700 doctors watching us right now. I will request Dr. Bajpai Saab.
Yes, sir.
Sir, please propose a formal vote of thanks to the speakers and the delegates who are listening to you and say some words. Yes, sir.
You had raised about change of social norms. So I remembered that we are now in an era where a roll of tissue paper costs more than a barrel of oil. Economics has changed, and we'll see how we respond to it.
True.
I want to say, sir, everything was like very defined in our culture. when I go to the foreign travel, we have a habit to have a handkerchief within our pocket, right? We use a sneezing and coughing everything with that. We are not using the tissue paper. So our the way of life, most of the environment friendly, okay, and with the hygienic. We use a namaskar. We take out of the shoes before we entering in a house. So I think everything very anciently, our ancestors are very like scientifically conducted and weighed and made us life. Now what happened? We are coming last influence of the other people, and we want to say like we are a forward or we are a westernized or something like that, and actually we are going beyond to whatever our home sciences are there. Like even even our house, when you have a drinking a glass of the water, we Gujarati we call it a doyo, right? It's some another instrument. We take a water from other pot and have it in a glass, and we drink it. Now we have a fridge. We open the bottle and just have it and keep it on the same way. So sometimes I'm thinking like it's take how many years to get this social etiquette to come in a society, and we are actually practicing it, and that all are on a scientific norms.
It simply shows the influence of bias in this webinar. Power of positivity. Yes, Bajpai sir, please sir.
Yes, sir. Nice seminar. Very good. My friends and colleagues, viewers, participants all over the country, welcome to all of you on the behalf of FFPI, and thanks to appreciate the move of FFPI in these circumstances. It is last webinar of this block of this lockdown. We have enriched our knowledge, which will help to us in our day-to-day practice. I think this will help to us in the health services of our community and our safety also. We all are the coronavirus warriors, trying to fight with all our efforts and resources and obeying the instructions given by the government of India and as well as the states. Family Physicians is a pilot of health services, and we are serving the country for the mankind. Thank you very much. Thanks to all of you.
Thank you, Bajpai sir, for the kind words. And last but not the least, we would like to thank the CIPLA people for helping us in providing us the technical platform for organizing this webinar.
Yes.
And to all the delegates who have attended this webinar in large numbers, please note that the certificates of attending this webinar will be sent to you via email shortly, along with the practicing guideline that FFPI has already published for family physicians to some practical points in this era of pandemic, how to practice. So we really would like to thank the speakers of today, Dr. Vaiya sir and Dr. Varun, for a very elaborated, nice and practical session, because two things are important. As I've already said, the calmness with the way that we practice, and at the same time, the awareness about the practical aspect to keep to protect oneself from the COVID infection. So end of the time, thank you, Dr. Janakbhai and Dr. Bajpai for joining us. Thank you, everybody. Namaskar.
Vishwai, for wonderful web series what you have made it. Thank you.
Thanks, sir.